Miss Lady Lace here, and today I'm truly excited to be posting up a new tutorial showing you how to style the glamorous Dita bun. This video comes requested from the fabulous Anna, who's a beautiful friend of mine, who requested if I could put this video together. So I do hope that she enjoys this, and maybe a few of you other ladies out there do too. This look was made iconic by Dita Von Teese, hence the name Dita Bun. It was featured in her book, Your Beauty Mark, which I'll include a link to in the description below. A lot of Dita buns I've seen online are where all the hair is sectioned up into the front bun, but I find that's not too complimentary to my face shape, or at least I didn't like that style per se. I like it with the bun at the front and the back section style through, so you have that really glamorous, elegant look, but without having all your hair up. This is also really good if you have thicker hair, but with thinner hair you'll still be able to style this too. For today's tutorial you're going to need hairspray. I'm using Suavecita's fabulous hairspray, which is just so delicious in the scent. I'm also using the Suavecita pomade, which is really good for getting rid of all those stray flyaway hairs. I'll be using a hairbrush, both a regular hairbrush and also a vintage one with bristles. You'll need a dividing comb, some bobby pins, a hair tie, and also a bun donut, which I can't show you because he's hiding in here. You'll see it later in the video though. You can buy them at most cheap $2 stores or places like Red Dot or the Reject store. They'll usually cost you no more than $4 to $5. Before this video I've also curled my hair, so I just have a wet set in that's a few days old, and I'm just going to use that for the back styling of the hair. You don't have to have it set though, you can do all your hair up in the Dita bun. I like to feature half of my hair sort of sectioned up into the Dita bun because I find that's the most sort of complementary look for my face shape and the style that I'm going for. So we're going to start by just brushing out our hair and making sure it's tangle free, and just getting rid of any parts. Like I always have this side part here, so I'm able to style my victory roll. From here, I'm just going to part out the section I want for my Dita bun. So I'm going to have mine sitting to the left of my center part. So I'm going to have the most of the hair pulling up here. I'm going to section from just behind my ear and sectioning back in sort of a large circular motion to get all the hair I need for this section. If you have quite thin hair, you may need a little bit more for this, but just have a play around with it and experiment with this. For the actual sectioning, I'm going to start by pulling behind my ears and pulling out a section, sort of carving it out with my fingers. You can use your dividing comb if you want to be a little bit more specific. And I'm just going to start by just feeling and gauging that I have enough hair for this. Just having a little bit of a play now. I just sort of pull it up to the place I want it to sit and just make sure I've got enough hair in this section. I'm then just going to take my dividing comb or hairbrush and just brush this up and make sure I don't need any more hair in this section, and just getting rid of any bits that aren't quite long enough to fit in this section. I'm now going to take my dividing comb, and there are some shorter hairs on this side, so I'm just going to section them down and out of the way. From here, I'm just going to brush this up, and I want the ponytail to sit up quite far forward, so it has that nice sort of fringe look to it. And I'm also beginning to pull this onto the side where I want the Dita bun to sit. From here, I'm just going to take just a little bit of pomade and just sort of brush it through this area, just to start catching the hairs that I want. I'm then going to give my hair a bit of a light spray through here. I'm going to take my nice bristle brush and brush this up to where I want it to sit. It's really important that this is really nice and smooth. Taking my dividing comb I'm finally going to take my hair tie. So I now have my ponytail up, the section hair that I want. I want quite a reasonable amount of hair in this section just so I can work with this to create the actual bun shape. But again, if you do have thinner hair, you might find you need a bigger section of hair for this. And if you like as well, you can just take a hair tie and tie the back section out of the way, just so you don't have to worry about that getting in the way of you working. I've just pinned the back section of my hair just out of the way with an alligator clip. And now I'm going to start focusing on creating the actual Dita bun. So I do have some curls that are sort of sitting through here, so I'm just going to give that a quick brush through, just to make it easier for styling purposes. I'm then going to take my bun holder and put this through the top here. So I'm just going to thread my ponytail through this and begin to have a play with this. Now when you put this in, you'll start to see where your Dita bun is actually going to sit. So if you're not happy with the placement of this at the moment, it might be worth having a bit more of a play to see where you want it to sit exactly. Now the next part will be a bit hard to see me while I'm doing this, but I'm just going to start to shape the hair around the bun. So I sort of luff it out on top of the Dita bun, and I grab a little comb and I start to brush it around and start to make it cover all the little bits of the bun. I'm starting to eat my hair a little bit, so I recommend when you try this at home, don't have lipstick on because it gets all in your face and it'll probably get on your cheeks. Doing now is I usually start from the back section of this and I just begin to tuck the hair that is existing into the bun holder, and I typically do this just so it begins to push it around, and I start from the back just because I find that's the harder part to actually get the bun to tuck. I feel like it's a little bit thicker towards the front area. So I'm just beginning to tuck it in. So I'm just sort of scooping it under and pulling it around, and I do this all in one direction, so I have it sweeping around, going around. If you try and do it in different directions, you're just going to pull the hair out and sort of ruin the styling that you're doing. And as I do this, I start to brush it out and make the bun look a little bit neater. Once I have this sitting more the way I envision it, I'm going to take just a bit of Suavecita's hairspray and just give it a light douse and just give a quick brush over again just to make sure everything's sitting the way I want it to. I'm then just going to use the edge of my brush just to make sure everything's getting nicely tucked in underneath the bun holder. From here, I'm going to take some bobby pins and begin to pin the bottom of this style, just so none of the bits that we've tucked in are going to come out. So I just take little pins and just stick them through the bottom of this style just to get the hair sitting in the right. a little bit more pomade as well, and I rub that on my hands just really lightly. And I just go through to make sure any little baby hairs are going to be out of the way. I'm then just going to take down my back section, and I'm just going to give this another light brush through just with my normal hairbrush, just to get it sitting the way that I want it to. I'm just going to finish this look now by adding in a little hair flower. I'm using this beautiful double rose from Daisy Jean Floral. I think a hair flower goes really beautifully with the Dita bun. I think it just makes it have that more sort of glamorous look. So I'm just going to gauge where I want it to sit before I actually start sticking it in. And that's all there is to this look. It's so simple, fabulous and glamorous, and you can really have a play around with it. The original Dita bun styling is just done up as one big updo, but I like the combination of it so you can have a bit of play around with yourself, see what suits you, and let me know how you found this tutorial to be in the comments below. If you liked it, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And to stay up to date with all my vintage fun, be sure to hit the subscribe button below, and I'll be seeing you all real soon.